Greetings, everyone. This is Payment Loans, your host, your friend, your coach. Today, we are kicking off day 2 already of the September class for the 5-day live profitable podcast loan challenge. And we have a beautiful, beautiful crowd from all over the world. We have the US, obviously. We have Canada. We have Australia. And we have, of course, also Germany and me here being in Asia. So we have 4 continents here today. That's amazing. So let's get started. Let me get to my. Do you guys see my screen?
Yes.
All right. Okay. So let me put this to the side, make it full screen. Check something here. All good. Okay, not this one. Where did it go? Okay. All right. So today, the menu for today, first of all, for those that are joining us today, we're going to give you 30 seconds to introduce yourself. I'll get that in a moment. And then a short Q&A for any question from last night, yesterday, from day 1, which was really powerful. And then today we're going to talk about something that's going to be a central part of everything we're going to be doing. Oops. See you guys. Live example. Always test. I forgot to connect my microphone. Always test. It happens to me even after 5 years almost and 400 episodes. So it's definitely going to happen to you. Always test before going to any podcast. Always test. Anyways, so we're going to be talking about the zone of genius, and then that's going to determine to us what is going to be your listener's avatar and what your podcast is going to be about. So today is going to be a good day. All right. So any questions from anything that we may have missed that you guys have about yesterday, day 1? Any questions? Questions, comments, compliments? Speak about my shiny hair.
It was very informative. There's so much opportunity for everyone on this line and throughout the world to make their mark and to bring their uniqueness and their professionalism and their kindness and helping people. And there's so much opportunity.
Absolutely. Thank you. Any other questions? Anyone has any questions from yesterday? As my good friend Paul, the pastor from Vancouver would say, speak now, hold your peace forever.
I just want to say I'm amazed at the potential in just doing podcasts, and the inverse of that is I used to think you needed, millions of subscribers to make any money. And then when I found out last week, you make $1,000 and you might have 500 subscribers, and you're doing it with 1,500, making a lot more than that. So
I got my
curious.
First, absolutely. I got my first client. I had absolutely 0 subscribers. My subscriber, just me, I, and myself. All right. Any other question, guys? All right, cool. Now let's move on. So we have one new person. She's not a new person. She's been in the challenge before. She's actually one of the students of the academy, but she's coming back as a refresher. Allison, are you able to give us a quick 30-second intro about you? What do you do? What's your zone of genius? All that good stuff. Are you able to brave your migraine?
Yep. So where am I? So I'm Alison. I'm from Australia. I guess my zone of genius is helping mums recover from domestic abuse relationships and being able to leave and get out safely and know what all the hidden signs of abuse are.
Thank you. I love that. Thank you. Thank you for being here with us despite today not feeling the best, but I appreciate that. Thank you. All right. Now let's move on, guys. Who here wants to get leads on demand and high-ticket clients and make money with your very own profitable podcast and YouTube channel? And when I mean money, I don't mean peanuts. I'm talking at the bare minimum, $1,000, $2,000, $3,000, $5,000 per client. Raise your hand if you want that. If I could, I would raise my feet as well, but I don't want to fall. All right, awesome. You guys remember this graph from yesterday? So Paul, you mentioned about being blown away of the potential of podcasting. If you thought that yesterday was powerful, today is going to take it to the next level, because today we're going to go deep into what's going to make a podcast profitable, and the gigantic, humongous potential out there. So this, as I showed you guys yesterday, this is the graph about the amount of money being made on podcasts, through podcasting. Currently, this year alone, over $50 billion. This is people connecting, getting to know each other, building trust, and just doing business as a result of connect on a podcast. And that graph is only for the US. So if you were to add the rest of the world, you can easily 5, if not 10x this figure. So that's the start. Now, look at this one, guys. $1 billion a day. Do you guys know what that is? Who wants to
A
take
lot.
Yes, but what does that represent? Who wants
Revenue
to
generated,
keep going? Tell me more.
revenue generated worldwide.
Doing what?
Every day.
Doing what?
Podcast.
You on the right track? Anyone else wants to add to that?
Podcast coaching.
You on the right track? All right, let me give it to you guys. That is the amount of money that each and every single day people around you are quietly spending, or rather investing in themselves, meaning in programs, coachings, masterminds, mentoring, in order to solve one very specific problem they have. So again, that's how much people are currently investing each day to solve a specific problem. And you know what the crazy part is, guys? Is that this figure is from a year ago. And as we all know, as the coaching industry, the self-education and e-learning industries have been absolutely exploding, it's fair to say that as of today, September 3rd for me, September 2nd for you of 2025, it's probably an easy 50%, if not 100% more. Do you see how humongous that is? So again, now the big question is this. How can you, all of you and me, all of us, can get our share of this humongous and so delicious pie? Who wants to answer that? How can we get a piece of that pie? Who wants to give it a crack?
You show up and you share what you know so that people can pay you to
Yes,
solve their problems. You have a business.
absolutely. Absolutely. Spot on. And to get that is this. We need to answer the following question. What very specific pain point can you solve, and for who? Not change their lives in every aspect. No, just one very specific pain point. And for who? And this is what we're going to be diving deep into today, because that is what's going to make or break not just the podcast, not just your YouTube channel, but your business overall. This is very important because, again, as I will mention in a moment, clarity is the name of the game. Now, let's take that question and expand it. In order to answer that question, we need to address these 4 key questions. Number 1, what's your core primary expertise and skill set? In other words, what's your zone of genius? Number 2, and as you will see, everything's going to flow downstream in a very logical way. There's no guesswork required. Once you have identified your zone of genius, that's going to tell you in a very specific way and clear way, what is the one main pain point that you can address and solve through your offer, your program, your podcast, YouTube channel, and so on and so forth? What's the dream outcome for your client that you in your zone of genius can address? And the last piece of the puzzle is, how do you find those people and get your message in front of them? So again, it goes to that one key, simple but incredibly powerful question here. What one very specific pain point can you solve, and for who? I want you guys to really memorize this and really think hard about this. And this we're going to be doing today and tomorrow and the rest of the week. Does it make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
Awesome. Now, What do you guys think is the number one reason why most coaches and entrepreneurs struggle to get any traction, whether that is getting leads or clients for the businesses? One word. Or rather, two or three words.
Visibility.
Sorry, Anna?
Visibility.
Yes, that's a good one. But more than that,
Trust.
that's part of it. Yes.
Doing
Patience.
too much at one time.
Say it again.
Trying to tackle too much at one time.
Bingo. Bingo. Because they lack clarity. They want to help. What you guys said before that, they're all absolutely true. But the main one is this, and number one, they lack clarity. How many times have you guys seen or heard someone telling them, oh, trying to solve all of the problems, or their offer is so vague that you have no idea who's it for? Or I help people be happy. I help people become fit. I help people become financially independent. I help people find their groove or their vibe. I mean, that doesn't mean anything. So again, if you want to help everyone with all of issues, you're going to help nobody. That's very important. Instead, what we need to do, we need to be very clear, have crystal clear clarity and laser focus as to what one pain point are you solving and for who. If you're not speaking, please mute yourself. Okay? Because again, clarity is the name of the game. This is very, 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 very important. Clarity is the name of the game. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
This is probably the most important thing that I'll be sharing with you guys in this entire week. It's incredibly simple, but incredibly, incredibly, incredibly important. Without clarity, you have no business. Again, one very specific pain point for one very specific person, because the more clarity you have and your messaging and offer, the more your message will be magnetic. As a result, your offer will be compelling. And guess what? Your program is going to be transformational, and therefore, your business is going to be wildly profitable. That's a simple equation, simple formula. Because clarity is going to be at the center of everything. This is very, very, very important. If you want to succeed, if you want to win, you must have clarity. This is a non-negotiable of business. Absolutely non-negotiable. Does that make sense, guys? I see people nodding. Okay. All right. Now, how do we achieve that? How do we find and identify that one specific gift of ours or that zone of genius? Speaking of zone of genius, when you hear the word zone of genius, how do you define that? What does that mean to you? I want to hear at least 2 or 3 people, just one sentence. Who wants to go at it?
Something that makes you unique.
Yes, absolutely. Who else?
You're the czar of that particular thing.
Yeah,
Whatever.
absolutely. Who else?
It's something that you find absolute joy and passion in, that lights you up, that is valuable to somebody else. So usually it's a thing that you don't actually recognize its power because it's so usual and normal to you that you overlook it, I think, is the key thing I get with my clients. But yeah, it's like the thing that's just really easy and normal. And of course, everyone knows it, but you forget that that's your zone of genius. So that's not true.
Absolutely, absolutely. What you guys shared are all absolutely, absolutely, positively true. Absolutely. Well done, guys. So, one way that I explain that is that, and I will give you my full 4 steps to identify that, is that we all go through a fair share of pain, trauma, abuse, tragedy, betrayal, struggles, disease, and all the other painful things that life has can have for us. Yes, it's very painful when you go to them. But guess what? They become your story. Then your story becomes your gifts, and ultimately your gifts become your duty and responsibility. And for us, the best business you can start is you simply sharing how you overcame whatever crap you had to go through. because all you have to do is simply share your story while speaking from the heart. These are the best, most impactful, and most wildly profitable businesses. Just give me 1 second, guys. My other computer was on the table, and the table was completely under the sun's ray, and I don't want it to get burned. Anyways, all right. So here's my approach to identifying your zone of genius. There's 5 or rather 6 ways to identify, and we're going to go through all of each of them. The first and obvious place to start to identify your zone of genius is simply looking at your professional background and experiences. If you spend any amount of time in any industry, then of course, that's the first obvious place to start, because you know intimately, deeply, in and out that industry. You know the pain point, you speak the language, you've lived it for years. So that's an obvious place to start. The second one is if you, in the process of that, if you've acquired any high income skill. And those can be anything that you learned and people are paying you a lot of money for. For example, selling, negotiating, copywriting, coding, anything like those. Those are high income skills. The next one is if you have any special God-given natural innate talent that you may have been born with. Some people are amazing with memory, with numbers, with words, painting, drawing, writing, music, acting, sports, whatever that may be. It's natural, it comes natural to you. The fourth one, and that's probably the most powerful one, and that is any major life challenges that you may have overcome yourself. Basically, hero's journey. Because again, we all know that life is a school, nothing happens to you, but for you. One of the things I mentioned yesterday that completely transformed my life was understanding and asking the right question. Doesn't matter how painful, how heartbreaking a situation may be. If you were to simply look at it to the perspective and the lens of these 2 questions, what is this trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn to that? And add a third one, and that is, what is this trying to tell me? If you were to look at all the most heartbreaking phase of your life to those 3 questions, then you will see them for what they truly are. They are beautiful, wonderful, impactful, and potentially wildly profitable gifts for you. Does that make sense? So now, if you look at those 4 ways of identifying your zone of genius, which one would you say applies the most to you? Let's hear each of you guys just 1 sentence. Starting from left to right on my screen, Selena.
We go. Right, there we go. You can hear me. Which one? I find it's really hard because it could be all of those.
Absolutely.
But for the purpose of monetization, because we've had this conversation about how I don't believe I want to monetize everything. Some of these things are just for me. It would be my professional experiences and background.
Absolutely. Yeah, beautiful. And yes, guys, you're absolutely right, Selena. It can be a combination of those. It doesn't have to be just one. Paul.
Let's see. I would pick any high income skill you may have, and I'm thinking a skill is something I didn't have yesterday, but today I have because it developed. And I would say that my skill that I developed, and I know Rob's going to know what I want to say because we're brothers, man. We ran through the race together. We've been through the battle. And I would say that using the phone, I never wanted to use the phone. Let me go knock on doors until somebody told me, you can make 50 phone calls and that would take you a whole day to do that. But now it'll take you an hour. So I said, let me get good at this.
Yeah.
And I've been told I didn't ask for this title, but I've had friends tell me, you're the best in the industry, man. And I'm like, oh, okay.
There you go. That's amazing. Rob.
Yeah, Paul is definitely one of the best in the industry for sure. We both have, the School of Hard Knocks, and we've learned a lot. Sales is a journey in itself. You might as well be a psychiatrist first and foremost, because you always try to figure people out and things out. But I guess I'm a combination of all these.
Okay.
But I definitely think the high income skill is probably a big one for me because if you're in sales, you bring a lot of value because they know you can make money. You know how to make money.
That's why they call
It's
you the
not just about
rainmaker.
it's not just that yeah, it's not just about money, but people will pay for that. They will pay for
Absolutely.
people to coach them on how to become better and better people first and foremost.
Yeah.
But then if you're a good salesperson on top of that, that people can trust and like, more the better.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Dancing Queen.
Well, kind of combination of the special talent and then the major challenges that I've had to overcome. It pretty is just a story of my life, and I can't be a coach and help other people if I didn't have those experiences.
There you go. Bingo. Very perfectly summarized. Thank you. Anna.
Same with me, special talent and my journey.
Absolutely. Absolutely. Allison. Okay, coming back to you in a moment, Allison. The hot tub party. Jennifer, go first.
Okay. Mine is definitely my talent and the hero's journey.
Okay,
Kind of combined.
beautiful. What about you, George?
Well, mine changed. Mine was more physical, but now it's turning into helping people. It's because of the trauma that I went through in my life, and I'm hoping I can bring closure to some people. A lot of people don't get closure.
Yeah, absolutely. All right, guys.
Yeah.
Yes, beautiful. So again, we all have different gifts, and yes, it can definitely be a combination of those. But just like the cheesy line, but wait, there's more. That's not all. Another powerful way for you to identify your zone of genius is if there's anything that you are known for in your circle as the go-to person, anything that you absolutely love geeking about, then those can be amazing places to start identifying zone of genius. So again, anything, for example, me growing up, not growing up, sorry, when I was in college and university and all that, I was known as Mr. Brazil. I was obsessed with Brazil. Every day that question come to me. But of course, I cannot, and I don't want to monetize that now as a business, become a different stage now. But that's an example. So if you're really good with something, really, really good, like you make an amazing mean pie or steak or whatever, or a barbecue or whatever, or knitting or playing guitar, whatever. Oh, speaking of that, there's a lot of people that have built very successful businesses, and I'm going to aim at you, Dancing Queen, that are teaching what they're good at. Can be playing a music, improving their game in whatever sports, dancing. Let's say you have a dancing studio. If you do it physically, you're limited to the amount of people you can teach at that specific location at specific time. There are people who are building global businesses, teaching people how to dance online. They pay $30, $40 a month, and they get access to all the tutorials. You get 1,000 people, you do the math. You know, $40, $50 a month is a no-brainer. It's a numbers game in that case. So that's also, if you have any talent that way. Let's say you were growing up, you're amazing at tennis or football or soccer or whatever. Hockey. People will pay you, or in math, tutoring people. People will pay you some really good money to improve their game. That's also another way for you to build a very successful business, impactful and profitable. So again, guys, do not discard anything. That's one of the mistakes we all make, yours truly included, is that we overlook our gifts because they're nothing special for us. Can you relate with that? Absolutely, because they're nothing special for us. But guess what? Someone else, someone else's, for them, you're God sent. So again, that's another way. There's also another way as well. And that's a very powerful way. Imagine that I'm hosting a conference and one of my speakers bails on me at the last minute, and I'm frantically freaking out, and I call you and say, Anna, Paul, Rob, Stephanie, and so on and so forth. I need you to do me a massive favor. I want you to come and do a talk for an hour on that very specific topic, but you have no time to prepare. So the question is, what can you speak about for an hour with no preparation and a very deep, meaningful way? That's an incredible way to identify your zone of genius. Or another version of that is, what can you do a TED Talk on with absolutely no preparation, no time? Does that make sense?
Yes. And I think Selena mentioned when you're passionate about it, it just oozes out of you, right? Whatever you're passionate about. Now you're flowing and people are picking up those vibrations and those positive affirmations, and they feel that energy and they'll feed off of you. And now you're one.
Speaking of flowing in and being in the zone, as soon as you start mentioning those words, I started getting goosebumps and chills. We've all met people when they speak about something they're truly passionate about, they become a different person. You see it in their eyes. Like me and you, Stephanie, when we talked when we had our call, when you started talking about, first you told me your story, you were passionate and funny and bubbly, but now suddenly you started talking about dancing. You became a different person, almost obsessed.
I did.
Seriously, this is what I mean.
Dance for us, Stephanie. Dance for us, Stephanie. Come on.
Oh, we have a dancer and we have a singer. Oh, yes. We have a party.
That's right. That's right. See?
We have a party here. Hey, Friday, guys. Don't worry. Don't forget.
Hey, we're going to build a podcast party. That's it.
Hey, Frank Sinatra.
There we go.
And Gloria Estefan, right? Or is it Celia Cruz?
You have to sing Gloria Estefan. I don't know if I can sing that, but
we'll work on it.
Do the conga.
You have to teach me how to dance. I probably can't dance even close to what she can do. So
hey, there you go, guys. Right here we have what I said, the amount of money being made on a podcast. Right there. Prime example. So guys, these are the ways that you can really identify your zone of genius. So let me ask you guys, if I were to reach out to you individually and say, hey, Anna, Rob, Stephanie, Paul, and so on and so forth, what can you talk about for 30 to 60 minutes? No preparation, in a way that's going to really blow the mind of the audience. Just blur it out, one word, starting from this time, from right to left. Stephanie.
Jesus, now I can't think about it. I totally got distracted. For an hour conversation, it would be the cognitive distortion.
There you go.
Yep.
Rob.
Well, it's going to have to be music for me.
There you
I
go.
have a very serious historical perspective on music.
Beautiful.
And, so I really like to share that with people. And I always know music is a great communicator with everyone. Everyone jives on some kind of music. So there's always going to be a connection one way or another.
And music is universal. Absolutely.
Right.
Anna.
That's right.
About freedom, joy, fulfillment.
Love that. Love that. Love that. The top party. Starting with this time was George.
Okay, George, you first.
All right. The paranormal. And I've actually done it with no preparation numerous times,
Wow.
obviously, but it's something I've extensively researched.
Love that. Love that. Jennifer.
I think mine would have to be mental health and depression and how to deal with it.
Love that. Thank you. Selena.
The interplay of intuition and strategy in business, and how if you can use both, you'll have the competitive edge.
Beautiful. Love that. Paul.
Pick a topic. I could talk for hours on anything, basically. No, I would, if I got to choose, I would say sales, my life in sales. I want to write a book about that. I have some stories. You go cold calling in Brooklyn and Manhattan, and you're going to find a lot of crazy crap out there, man, that you walk into. So.
Absolutely. Absolutely. All right, guys. So again, these are the ways to identify your zone of genius. So again, this is very powerful. And this is going to really, once you do that properly, is going to show you in a very logical way that what is your true gift. And your gifts are literally what you can not just build a business, but you can change lives, change families in a transformational way. The bigger the transformation you can provide, the more people will pay you. All right, let's move on. So here's my 4-step approach to a profitable podcast and business. Number 1, identify your zone of genius and true gifts. Number 2, once you've identified your zone of genius, it's going to give you a clarity as to what is the number 1 pain point you can address and solve. And that's going to lead you to, for who, clarity on as to the avatar. And the last one is, once we've identified all of these, then you will know in a very clear way, where is that person hanging out the most? And simply putting yourself in front of them and inviting them. Very simple yet incredibly powerful way to build a profitable podcast and business. Does that make sense, guys? All right. You've heard me say that, and that's one of my favorite saying. I'm probably going to put it one of these days into a t-shirt, and that is, your crap is your gold. That's what I meant earlier. Or in a more PC, more vanilla way, your mess is your message. As I said earlier, we all have gone to our fair share of crap, heartbreaking moments, but guess what? They become your story. Then your story becomes your gifts, and then your gifts become your duty and responsibility to share them. Look at your life. Actually, that's one of the exercises we go deep inside the academy, and I will share it with you as well. Take a piece of paper today, tonight, whatever time is for you. Draw a few columns. Each column represents one very challenging, heartbreaking chapter of your life. You don't have to write an essay. Just in each column, just put one keyword, whatever that may have been. Divorce, heartbreak, accident, sickness, betrayal, bankruptcy, whatever it may have been. And then at the bottom, you draw a line. And you ask these 2 questions. What was that trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? And I would add a 3rd one. What was that trying to tell me? And then once you fill this form, this piece of paper, stare at it. Stare at it and see which one triggers you the most. Which one creates the most visceral reaction in you? Which one riles you up the more? And the one that triggers you the most, that brings back the most painful memories, guess what? That is a fantastic gift for you to share, because the more painful was something that you have overcome, the more transformational, impactful, and profitable is going to be for you and for the person. Basically, what I'm saying is some of the best businesses to build are you simply sharing how you overcame whatever crap you had to go through. Because when someone is looking for a coach and looking to invest a few $1,000s, pounds, and euros, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. What they're looking for is just someone that is just a few steps ahead of them, 1 to 3 or 4 steps ahead of them. And most importantly, someone that they can relate with, identify with, and resonate with. Someone that says, oh, wow, that's me. She speaks my language. He knows what I'm talking about. That's what people want. They just want a big brother, a big sister. Hey, hold my hand. I've been in your shoes. I know what it takes to get out of it, and together, we're going to get out of there. That's what people want. So this is why I always say your crap is your gold. Do not discard anything. And please do the exercise I just mentioned. Take a piece of paper, multiple columns. Each column represents one very painful, dark chapter of your life. You put one keyword in each column that summarizes what that was about. You draw a line at the bottom. What was that trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn to that? And what was that trying to tell me? Fill it out and stare at it. See which one really triggers you the most. Which one brings the most painful memories. And guess what?
Lorenzo, with that, so let's say you put a challenge, divorce, for example. You would put all the reasons why divorce bothered you underneath that and then draw a line?
You can do that, but what I recommend is simply just put one keyword. Like, for example, divorce. One chapter, one column can be, say, heartbreak financial struggles, bankruptcy, whatever, accident, sickness, whatever.
Okay.
And at the bottom, you draw a line. What was that trying to teach me? What is the lesson for me to learn to that? And what was that trying to tell me? You fill that piece of paper, you stare at it and see which one riles you up the most, which one triggers you the most, which one brings back the most visceral reaction in you. And the one that does that, guess what? That's your gift. That's an incredible, transformational, impactful, and wildly profitable business for you. Because again, the best business to start is where you simply sharing what you've overcome, helping the person just behind you, a few steps behind you. Because people are paying the big money for two main reasons. One, transformation and speed. They don't care about your knowledge or your time because there's always a ceiling how much you can charge. Information can be obtained pretty much for free nowadays with ChatGPT, YouTube, Google, and all that. But what people will pay the big bucks are these two things, transformation and speed. If you can help me achieve whatever desired outcome I have or whatever crap I'm going through fast and I can do it, then I will simply say, shut up and take my money. Does it make sense?
Yes.
So very important, guys. Is this helping you guys getting some clarity?
Yes, big time.
Very
Good.
much so.
Anna? Unmute yourself, please.
I'm having issues with my mic today.
No worries.
Absolutely, makes absolutely sense.
Perfect. Dancing Queen? You're only dancing, I can see that. Awesome. Paul?
Yeah, I definitely I had a manager a long time ago that told me, hey, listen, Paul, the one who has the best story wins the stale.
That's it. It was one of you guys that mentioned yesterday that you went into a sales meeting and you started singing. Was it you, Rob? And that allowed you to close the sale. Why? Because that made you not just stand out, but what made you stand out was because you were relatable, you were humane. You were speaking from the heart, and you singing, you got in the zone.
That's right. That's right.
That's what people want. That's what people are craving for. They want authenticity.
That's my calling card. Okay, that's who I am. So when I was selling cars, selling Mini Coopers, anyone I knew it was their birthday, I would sing happy birthday to them in the showroom.
Wow.
In front of a lot of people. And people really like that. They give me Google reviews, and even the salesman sang happy birthday to me.
Because again, it's a human touch. Yeah.
That's it.
Lorenzo, I got to tell this real quick. I'll make it really quick,
sure,
if you don't mind.
Yeah, please go ahead.
I was in the room on his interview when that happened. I was sitting at my desk, and the recruiter who I introduced him to said, "Paul, you got to get upstairs right now." And I'm like, "Oh no, what's going on? What did Rob do?" And she goes, "He's going to sing." And I'm like, "Okay." He sang, and a young lady ran out of the room crying because it touched her so much.
Mm-hmm.
He choked me up because I used to love Frank Sinatra. So when he sang that, so the dude has an emotional impact when he sings.
Well, speaking of that, I can't wait for Friday. You're not escaping, buddy.
I'm ready.
All right.
I was feeling a little crummy. I just fighting a sinus infection. My voice is even coming back stronger now, so you'll really hear full throat, whatever you want to hear. I don't know what you guys want to hear, but we'll figure it out.
All right. Speaking of that, since you mentioned you're ready, at the end of today, we'll give you the floor. Just for an appetizer, okay?
All
right.
Fair enough.
Awesome. Let's move on. Now that we've looked at the zone of genius is going to be, as I said, the central point of everything we're doing. Do you guys see how powerful having a business built around your zone of genius is? So powerful. And I would venture to say that's the only way, the best way to build a business, especially if you want to win, if you want to impact lives while also getting handsomely rewarded for it. That's the way to go. All right, now the next piece of the puzzle is identifying your ideal avatar. I have a love and hate relationship with the word avatar because I could never relate with a typical definition of avatar where your avatar is, say, for example, Mike from finance, making $90,000 a year, driving a BMW Z series or whatever, and going to the gym 4 times a week and as a golden retriever. Or it's Susie from HR making $90,000 driving a, I don't know, Lexus, and every morning at 7:24 a.m. on the dot, she drinks a green latte and has 3 cats. I could never relate with that because that was never me. Can you guys relate with that? Or even some people,
that's their habits. They're used to it. Yeah.
exactly. Or some people go as far as creating an actual fictional character, even looking for a face, for a picture for that person online, even giving my name and all that. But I could never relate that because I would say, but that's not me. I've taken countless classes and programs where the so-called guru telling me, oh, create your avatar. So what does that mean? Oh, create someone that's fictional and all that. So, but that's not me. And they could never answer me in a way that could satisfy me. But then I had an epiphany, and that's one thing that changed my life and my business was, as I mentioned earlier, your avatar is someone, ideally, that resembles you, that looks as much as possible as you, that reasons with you. Hence why I said, look at your background or whatever. So that when you talk, when they see your messaging, your offer, everything you do, they will say, oh, wow, she speaks my language. He understands me. He knows what I'm talking about. That's exactly what I'm going through. That's ideally. But ultimately, and that breakthrough, that aha moment changed my business, my life. And that was that your avatar ultimately is no one else than, drum rolls, yourself. Just a few steps ago. One of the greatest breakthroughs for me was to understand, to build your business the way you wished existed when you were just starting, when you were at the lowest. For example, for me, 5 years ago, I was completely broke. I've built my business the way I wished existed. So build your business the way you wish existed, the way you would have loved to have someone like a big brother, big sister, just the way you would have loved back then. This is probably the greatest aha moment breakthrough for today, for you guys, at least from my perspective, was to understand that you are your avatar. And as much as we would love to love that, our gifts are not meant to be shared with the world, but our gifts are meant to be shared with your Annas, with your Pauls, with your Stephanies, with your Robs, with your, let me see who's here again, with your Jennifers, with yours, Allison's, Selena's, my payments, meaning the version of you that's just a few steps ago. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Because this is very, very powerful. Instead of wasting your time trying to create a fictional character that is absolutely not you, you simply have to look in the mirror and ask yourself, what would I've loved existed when I was just starting on my journey, however long it may have been, whether it was 6 weeks, 6 years, or 60 years. So again, this is very important, guys. Build your business the way you wished existed when you were starting, whether that is your podcast, your blog, your website, your offer, your YouTube channel, everything you do, build it the way you wished existed. Essentially, build it for yourself. And that's not being selfish. That's being very altruistic. Does it make sense?
Yes.
Anna?
Absolutely.
Awesome. Because guys, that breakthrough is what literally changed my business and by extension changed my life. Understanding that I am my own avatar. So your goal is to find your Annas, your Pauls, your Stephanies, your Robs, my payments, your Selenas, your Allisons, and so on and so forth. Your goal is not to share your gifts with the world as much as we all love that. No. Even if you were to just find your Annas, your Pauls, your Stephanies, you're going to be so busy and so happy and so handsomely rewarded that you wouldn't have time to scratch your head. And I mean it. This is very, very, very powerful, guys. That alone changed my business and my life. Understanding that you are your own avatar.
Brandon, could I ask a quick question?
Please, go ahead.
So you're basically saying I have a successful business podcast right now, and I'm going to be my clients are going to be me before I had a
Bingo.
successful business podcast. Okay, now
So
I understand.
build it and put yourself back to when you were just starting or when you were at your lowest. What would you wish existed? Who did you wish was there as a big brother, big sister to say, hold my hand, I've been in your shoes, and together we can get out of this crap. This is your goal. Your goal is to become not a coach, not a mentor, but that big brother, that big sister. And one of my favorite words is that activator, because we activate people, we activate dreams, activate potentials and gifts. That's one of my favorite words to say. I'm an activator. I don't like the word coach because everybody and their dog are a coach nowadays. Instead, I prefer the word activator because we literally activate people, help them identify the true gift so they can become the highest version of themselves. That's what we do. We're all activators. And again, your goal is simply, number one, to identify what is your gift, what is your zone of genius. And that's going to tell you in no uncertain terms, what is that one specific pain point you're going to be addressing and solving at the highest level, and for who? And that who is basically just yourself a few steps ago. And the last piece of the puzzle is identifying where is that person hanging out and simply putting yourself in front of them, becoming not just present, but becoming omnipresent on that one platform. I will share with you guys one thing about this. Have you guys heard of the of Lead Pages? It's a multi-billion-dollar company. So anyways, I was listening to a podcast a few months ago with one of their co-founders, and they asked him, what is the main reason that allowed you guys to grow so fast and become a multi-billion-dollar business? And what the guy said, I will never forget that. He said, the rule of the 6 ones. I want you guys to write this down. The rule of the 6 ones. And that is one business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. I will write it down later on the WhatsApp group. So again, one business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. Meaning, instead of trying to be on all different social media platforms, trying to, create dancing videos, or talk about the latest trends on TikTok and Instagram and Facebook and YouTube and so, God knows what else. Identify what platform is your avatar hanging out the most, and you simply become omnipresent on that one platform. So for me, I'm all in with Facebook because Facebook groups are an absolute gold mine. We all met through Facebook groups. Have we not? So Facebook groups, guys, are an absolute gold mine. So for me, it's been Facebook groups and, of course, YouTube as my platform. Because YouTube is the second largest search engine in the world. Do you know what is the biggest search engine platform in the world? Start with a G.
Google.
Exactly. And who owns YouTube?
Google.
There you go. I will talk about that more in detail tomorrow. But again, and that comes back to what I said earlier. Clarity, clarity, clarity. Laser focus clarity. One pain point, one person, one business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. Almost like a mule. You want to become almost closed-minded in a way. I get messages all day from people trying to pitch me into the latest, shiniest opportunities. At first, I used to entertain them because I want to be nice. I was always the yes person just to please people. But then one of the reasons I was always struggling and not going in was because I was trying to juggle too many businesses. And instead, now my default answer is, no matter how amazing that offer is, and I tell them, listen, thank you, I'm honored, but right now, my focus is my business. It doesn't align with where I'm going. In a year or two, I'd be happy to reconsider. But for now, I'm all in with what I'm doing. You just be honest and upfront, and people will respect that. So again, guys, I want you guys to really memorize this and tattoo that on your mind and your soul. The rule of the 6 ones: one business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. And become omnipresent on that one platform until you get your business to a high 6 figures. And then you can, yes, at that time, you can look into expanding into another platform. But if you try to imagine you're trying to cook 10 dishes at the same time, even if you're the best chef in the world, one of them is going to burn. Or even the ones that are burning are not going to be perfect. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yeah.
So this is very powerful, guys. Focus, focus, focus. Hence why I started this call with clarity is the name of the game, and why the number one reason why most entrepreneurs online struggle is because they lack clarity. They try to be across all social medias, try to solve all of their issues. Oh, let me help you with your relationships, your finance, your fitness, your health, your kitchen, your garden, your garage, and God knows what else, your basement, and resulting with not helping anyone. This is very important, guys. Yes, you've all heard that. There's nothing, unique what I'm saying, but we need to apply that and to hear that. Because again, at the end of the day, it's all about back to basics and back to common sense. And nowadays, common sense, fortunately, is becoming less and less common. And if you
Not so common.
and if you are one of the people that can actually apply common sense, then you're going to shoot up. Does that make sense, guys?
Yes.
Yes.
All right, perfect. So again, I mentioned that before. Again, the biggest breakthroughs that I can give you for today is this. You are your own avatar. Build your business, build your offer, build your podcast, build your whatever you do. The way you wished existed when you were starting or when you were at your lowest, because ultimately you are your avatar, not some fictional character. And the second biggest takeaway for today that I want to give you guys is the rules of the 6 ones. One business, one offer, one traffic source, one platform. What is it? One business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. Yes, exactly. Laser focus, almost like a mule. You don't see anything else.
Now, what do you mean by one business? What do you mean by that, Lorenzo?
There are people that are building multiple business on the side. And that's the fastest way, at least from my perspective, my understanding. Unless you have a team and each team focus on one specific business. If you're just starting out your one man, one woman show, focus, one business. So if you have multiple business right now, ask yourself, which one is the one that is going to bring you revenue the fastest? And which one is the one that you're most passionate and you can see yourself doing for the next 10 years? Because when you start a business, you're literally the same thing as getting married to someone. You will be getting married to your business. Your business is going to become your baby, so to speak.
Right.
24/7. Unlike corporate, there's not 9 to 5. When you finish your job, you don't go home, you don't forget about your business. I take calls. For example, I got calls sometimes at 6 o'clock in the morning, sometimes at 1 p.m. Anna, she's waking up at 2 o'clock in the morning. Business around the clock. So this is what I mean. One business. Does that make sense, Rob?
Yeah, I just want to share something with you. So a while ago, I was in some hospitals and places where people were ill and sick. And you see the dogs going around to cheer people up, right? I said, oh, I should do something like that, with my voice and my music to cheer people up. And I'm thinking this might be a really great platform to help a lot of people with these, just being down in the dumps, low spirit, low energy. And if I can brighten their day, then that's going to be wonderful.
That's it. I love that. Yes, that would be a phenomenal business. Speaking of dogs, later today, I have a podcast with a lady, American lady, lives in Greece. She's got one of the most amazing businesses. One thing I love about my podcast is I get to learn about things I thought I knew, but also learning about things I didn't even know existed. Like she's a pet for senior dogs. How cool, how niche is that? For senior dogs. I had no idea that even existed. So again, the more niche you can be, it's all about going deep, not wide. The deeper you can go, because ultimately your goal is to become known as the go-to person in your niche. Make sense?
Yes.
Awesome. Thank you. Let's move on. So now, well, we already answered that. Who's your avatar? This, as I said, is someone that resembles you, that looks like you, that can identify with you. But ultimately, your avatar is no one else than just yourself. And one of the ways to identify your zone of genius is your avatar is to simply go back a few slides at the start of this call and look at identifying what is your zone of genius. Ultimately, what we're doing here, we're not just launching a podcast, we're not just launching a profitable business, but by identifying your zone of genius, you're going to get to understanding yourself better. Who are you and what are you here for? What is your highest purpose here? Because your highest purpose is linked to your zone of genius. Your zone of genius is not some random crap. It's built around your highest purpose. What are you here for in this lifetime? What is your highest purpose? So it's a deep, deep, deep work we're doing here. Do you guys see that? Paul?
Yes, I do see that.
Stephanie?
Yeah, definitely. Like I'm literally thinking
Good.
about the salsa and the coaching and how you're saying, don't focus on too much. But as I had mentioned before, salsa is just a way to get my foot in the door. The ultimate goal is my coaching program and how to introduce that through there, which is the end goal. So I'm just thinking how to maneuver that.
And speaking of that, if I may, just thinking out loud and just planting the seed, I see a beautiful opportunity for two of you guys to collaborate, like you, Stephanie, and Rob. Music and salsa. I'm not joking. Get on a call, talk it out, or even, see what you can each bring to the table and how can you guys put that together? Because 1 + 1 is not 2. 1 + 1 is 11. Two people coming together, it exponentially explodes. That's one of my principles of how I do business, my branding. 1 + 1 = 11. So just planting the seed. Get on a call and see what kind of magic the two of you can co-create. Because music and salsa and dance, they're very related. One cannot live without the other. So again, just wanted to say that. So again, it's incredibly important to understand that you are your avatar, not some fictional character, not Susie from HR or Mike from finance. No, because that never resonated with me. Clear as mud? As was in Canada, clear as mud? Okay, good. All right, let's move on. So now, what is your podcast going to be about? So again, we have talked about your zone of genius, how important that is, how it's incredibly crucial for you to have laser focus clarity as to what is one specific pain point that you can address and solve and for who. Because the more clarity you have, the more magnetic your message will be, the more compelling your offer will be, the more transformational it's going to be for the person. And ultimately, the more profitable it's going to be for you. So let's hear it. One sentence, each of you. What is your podcast? Profitable and impactful podcast. So PIP. Oh, wow. That could be my new branding. Your PIP. Not PIMP. PIP. Profitable, impactful podcast. Starting from left to right. Rob, I'm going to call you Frank Sinatra. Hey, Frankie.
Profitable Impact Podcast.
Yes, sir.
So I guess it's going to be my voice one way or another, whether it's voiceovers or singing or brighten someone's day. I think that's what the best impact I can bring. And I think people would want to be part of that. and I can build relationships, and then profit will come.
Beautiful. And one thing, we're going to talk about that tomorrow. I don't want you to say people because that's very vague. Who specifically? We're going to do that tomorrow.
Okay.
But I want to plant the seed already. Who's the person that you can help at the highest level? And ultimately, as I just mentioned, that is the version of you of just a few steps ago. So ultimately, how has your voice or singing helped you overcome whatever challenge or crap you had to go through? And simply package that to help the person that's just a few steps behind you.
I love that. Yeah,
Not just the person that's behind you, but just the version of you, your Rob,
Right.
of just a few steps ago.
Yeah.
Make
I
sense?
mean, yeah, absolutely. I mean, I think everyone obviously deals with sad things and depression. And I guess that's probably my purpose, to help lift people up.
There you go. And by tomorrow, you will not be saying people anymore. You will be very specific. But again,
Specific on who I'm going to lift up.
that's for another day. All right.
Understood.
Thank you. Anna, what is your PIP is going to be about?
It's going to be called a joyful change.
Joyful
Make it
change.
your reality.
I love that. Tell us a bit more.
It's about to unbox yourself,
Mhm.
meaning get out of the many boxes confining you, which is your beliefs, and at the same time unbox yourself because you are a gift to this world and become what you are created to be.
You're speaking my language, my friend. You're a smart cookie, as I like to say.
And by the way, I have this already in YouTube. I just have to put my podcast on it.
There you go. Awesome. Awesome. Share your link so we can all subscribe, give you some love, like, share, and all that, and subscribe.
Well, right now I don't have any content. I just have the
Okay.
shell to
Okay.
put it, but I'm ready to roll.
Good. By Friday, I will show you guys how to build the foundation of your profitable podcast by having the first few episodes. So that's going to be on Friday when we can talk about monetizing your podcast the right way. Awesome. Paul,
Did you say PIP?
PIP,
That's
yes,
it.
sir. Profitable, impactful podcast, not PIMP. No, there's no M.
PIP. Okay. I don't like that term. It reminds me of very negative terms in the sales industry.
What is that? Okay.
Program improvement plan,
Oh,
which
no.
is code to say we're looking for a way to fire you.
Oh, really? Okay. Okay.
Anyway, I'm sorry. I
right.
digress. The name of my podcast would be, Does Your Phone Weigh 200 pounds? Let me help you lift it.
Oh, I love that. That's interesting. Tell us a bit more.
Well, I know that grown salespeople, I know. I used to get in the office and I'd be the only guy pounding away at the phone, setting appointments, getting in front of people. And the guy I worked for used to say, he's an animal, man. Look at him go. And then I would get up and stop, take a break, and the whole 50 people on the floor, all sales, quiet. No one picking the phones up. So that's because even seasoned veterans in this industry still have a problem picking the phone up.
There you go. I like that. I like that. Well done. Stephanie.
So I would call it Rema Radiance. So Rema by definition means spoken word.
Okay.
So when we're looking at the coaching that I did with the school education, education professional, mental, spiritual, I am the mom, I am the sister, I am the mentor, I am someone that you come to for advice, and we talk through the problem. And all the negativity that is surrounding you, I'm the one that tells you it's not true. Because that's what I wish I had when I first started.
I like that. I like that. Thank you. Jennifer.
Mine would be called Empowered Healing. and working through life challenges and learning to laugh in the face of adversity. So empowering people through moments that bring us down and activate our, maybe depression or deep-seated things that we are dealing with, and learning to kind of cope with those things, and trying to find the positive things, like you said, learning, what is this trying to teach me? What can I learn from this? What good things and positive things can I pull from this negative situation?
I like
That's
that.
what.
I like that. Thank you. George.
Well, mine would be BNF Talks.
What's BNF?
That's our actual podcast that me and Jennifer do now. That's why I'm looking at her funny. Definitely not. But yes, we were both in the same boat of empowering, bringing awareness to mental health and helping people get through some tough times in their life. So I'd call it BNF Talks. It's her last name and my last name, and it just kind of flowed. Because, like I said, I discovered one day that our conversations should be shared. So that's the whole premise of the whole show. But we want to take it a step further and bring in licensed therapists.
Oh, wow.
We have some big ideas. Yeah.
Love that. Love that. Thank you for sharing. Awesome. Thank you. Let's move on. Here's some powerful reminders. I'm sure you all know all of these because you're all seasoned pros in business and in life. As I mentioned earlier, do not sell your time or your knowledge, because it's always sitting how much you can charge, and this information can be obtained pretty much for free. Instead, offer transformation, because people will pay you the big bucks for two things. One, transformation, and two, speed. So, and ultimately build a business going to not only help them improve whatever, but transform them, and more than transform, even save lives. Because when you save lives, you can also ultimately save families. Those are the best businesses to build. And I mentioned that yesterday. Business is all about a relationship nurturing process. Anything high ticket over $1,000, pounds or euros, about one thing and one thing only. Start with a T, ends with a T. 5 letters. Can you guys guess what that is?
Trust.
That's it. And how do you build that trust? By building rapport. How do you build that rapport? By simply having heart-to-heart conversations, being authentic, speaking from the heart. And the best way to speak from the heart is simply you sharing your story, how you overcame whatever crap you had to go through. And the best way to do so is this, the podcast. And as I said earlier, when people are looking to invest some good money in someone, a coach, a mentor, an activator, they're not looking for a disconnected billionaire. They're looking for someone that's just a few steps ahead of them, 1 to 3 or 4 steps, ideally. And ultimately, that someone is someone that has successfully overcome what they're currently going through. Hence why I mentioned earlier, and I really emphasized on that point, is that you are your avatar. Build your business for the version of you of just a few steps ago. Build it the way you wished existed when you were starting, when you were at the lowest, however long it may have been. Very simple. And again, people want to work with someone that is accessible, reachable, and relatable. Someone that is human. That's what I said. Embrace your imperfections. Don't try to be perfect, because if you try to be perfect, you will lose people because they cannot relate with you. That's why I said if you have a dog, a cat, bring him on the camera. You have a kid or a crying infant, sit them on your lap. That's going to make you so much more endearing, so much more relatable, and so on and so forth. Hello, Maria. How you doing?
Hi, I'm good. I was just teaching, so that's why I'm super late.
No worries, no worries. Make sure that you watch a replay, because today's call has been incredibly powerful, and I will share the replay within an hour after this call. And speaking of Maria, I just released the episode I did with her like 2 weeks ago. Highly recommend all of you guys to watch it. Very, very, very powerful story. As I said earlier, she's got not just an inspiring story, she's got a truly goosebump inducing story. So watch it. I just posted on my Facebook and on my YouTube channel. Anyways,
Thank you.
very welcome. All right. Here's other powerful reminders. That's one of my favorites. And I will talk about that more the rest of the week. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. Let me repeat that. Never put yourself in a position to ask, beg, or chase. Instead, invite. And that applies to everything, not just business, also your family, your kids, your partner, your friends, even your neighbor. Instead of asking them, invite them and see the difference. And the 4 steps approach to building a powerful, impactful, and widely profitable business and podcast is this: very simple. Number 1, identify your zone of genius and your gifts. Identify what is the one pain point you can solve and for who. Identify where they hang out and simply invite them onto your podcast. This is exact principle that allowed me to get over 100, now it's over 150 clients with a YouTube channel of less than, well, now it's over a bit more, but initially I got my first 100 clients, my first 60 client rather, with a YouTube channel of less than 60 clients. So again, very simple yet incredibly powerful. It's not about the numbers, it's about the connection. Clear as mud? All right. Any questions? We're done. Any questions? Yes, Paul.
You had spoken about don't use the term coach, use big brother. I'm just looking at my notes here.
I mean, that's what I like. I'm not saying you should do that. Whatever is.
No, I like that.
You.
I like that.
Yeah.
Everybody's a coach. The whole world has become a coach.
Exactly.
In the last,
and the
so
worst is someone that has just had a tiny bit of a. I'll give you an example. My background is e-commerce. I lived in China. I built and sold a business on Amazon. And back in 2015 to 2020, every person and a dog was becoming an Amazon coach, selling on Amazon. While they sold maybe $500 to $1,000 products on Amazon, all of a sudden became a 6-figure Amazon coach. So that's why the term coaching has been vastly diluted because of that. So that's why I prefer the word either mentor, but my favorite is activator or big brother, big sister. Yeah.
Mentor, activator. I like that. I mean, when I go on a lot of networking meetings during the week, and I introduce myself as a sales coach, and I'm like, I don't like that. That's something. Got to do something different. Let me be your mentor.
Rainmaker.
Let me be rainmaker. I like that even better.
That's a perfect term for sales. For me, when I go to people meet me, now I'm very outgoing, complete opposite of before. When people ask me, "Hey, Payman, what do you do?" My answer is not that I'm a coach, I'm a podcaster, I'm an author, a speaker. No, my answer is I'm a collector. What do you collect? I collect success stories. What does that mean? Well, my goal is to make sure my clients win and shine brighter than they're currently shining. So what the hell is that? What do? You get them really intrigued. And then I tell them. And I will share with you guys an incredibly powerful video by the legendary Jim Rohn. And that is, when someone asks you, what do you do? Don't answer with a title, because if you answer with a title, you get boxed right away. Oh, what do you do? I'm an accountant. Oh, nice to meet you. I'm just going to go get some wine. I'm going to go to the bathroom. They just want to end the conversation. And instead say, emphasize on the impact of what you're doing. Let's say you're a financial advisor. Oh, so I'm saying I'm a financial advisor. Say, I make sure my clients sleep with peace at night financially. Oh, what does that mean? Remember what I said yesterday? The most valuable currency in the world of business nowadays is attention. Now, how do you catch and capture that attention? By when everybody nowadays are just trying to have small talk and superficial level conversations, by you focusing on the impact that you're having to your work, your business, you're going to open the door to some real deep, meaningful conversations and hence connections. I will share that video with you guys. That's an incredibly powerful video. So watch that. So again, yes, sorry for taking you on a big tangent. As you guys know me, I'm the king of the tangent. I'll take you around the world before I answer a question. But yeah, so I even forgot what I was about to talk about. So
Can I
anyway,
add something in
Please.
coaching?
yeah, go ahead.
So when I had somebody do my website, and when I looked at it, it said Coach Maria, and I'm like, that does not sound right to me at all.
Exactly.
So I made her go back and delete Coach everywhere, and I'm just Maria.
And again, yeah, for some people, the term coach can really push them away and turn them off because they've been burned. And when they talk to one of those coaches, they will literally left with a lot to be desired because they have no clue what they're talking about. That's why I don't like the word coach. The only time I like to use the word coach is when I was living in China and working as a professional football coach. I was a football coach in China. So in that case, yes, I can use the word coach because I was an actual coach. But other than that, up to you. Whatever word or terms resonates the most with you and just run with it. Whether it's mentor, big brother, big sister, activator. Whoops.
I'm a quantum leap facilitator.
There you go. Some people use the term guru, which I personally don't like. I like even less than coach. But actually, it's funny because the word guru in Indonesian and Bahasa, it actually means teacher. The word guru means actually teacher. That's how they borrowed that word and really bastardize it, you know? But anyways, enough about that. Any questions, guys? Today we had a full day. I invite you guys to go through the slides. And even if you want to, watch again because I shared a lot of things with you guys. And today is a very pivotal day of what we're going to do because it's all based on two powerful principles. One, your zone of genius, and two, you are your own avatar.
Are you going to share that Jim Rohn video on the WhatsApp?
Yes, sir. Yes, sir. On the WhatsApp group. So keep an eye on the WhatsApp group because that's where I'm going to be sharing all those goodies. So any questions about what we covered today? Where's Rob?
How do I get on the WhatsApp groups?
Oh yeah, send me your WhatsApp number and I'll add you to the group. Jennifer, you're there, right? Let me check. Jennifer. Yes, you are, Jennifer. So if you, Jennifer, if you can send me WhatsApp number for George, and I will
Yeah.
send them. Where the hell did Rob go? I was actually looking forward to having him sing for us. Hey, Rob, did you chicken out?
He's got kids that he's got to
I'm joking. Hey, he's not gonna escape it. He's gonna sing tomorrow then. Okay. All right, guys. Any questions? I know you don't have any question, Maria, because you just got in. But I recommend watch today's replay because today was a full house, a packed one, very powerful one. Even all of you guys watch it again because each time you watch it, you will catch something new that you may have missed the first time. Okay. Where's Anna? Anna, any question?
No. Everything perfectly explained.
Any comments or compliments? Especially with shiny hair. Just joking.
Looking forward to day 3.
Absolutely. Yes, me too. Stephanie, any questions or comments?
No, so far everything was clear, straightforward. The clarity again, I do need to work on that. Even from our very first conversation, you have planted that seed already. So there's a lot of things turning right now.
Tomorrow we're going to dive even deeper into clarity because tomorrow we're going to take what we did today and I'm going to give you the action step and we're gonna literally craft your offer tomorrow.
Yeah, I'm trying not to get ahead of myself like I usually would and think of how many ways I can implement. I am practicing patience, which is the important part right now.
So remember what I said? I know there's many ways to skin a cat, so to speak, and what you can do, but focus on the way that you can help someone at the highest level and the most effective way and the fastest way, the most impactful way, because that's when people are gonna pay the big dollars.
Got it.
Always remember the rule of the 6 once. So Maria, I'm going to share that here as well. One of the most powerful principles that I had that I realized, and that was me listening to a podcast from one of the co-founders of Lead Pages, a multi-billion-dollar company. He was asked, so what was one of the main factors for you guys blowing up so fast? He said the rule of the 6 once, meaning one business, one avatar, one offer, one traffic, one platform, one traffic source, one platform, and 1 year. Again, one business, one offer, one avatar, one traffic source, one platform, 1 year. Meaning laser focus, clarity. As you will see at the start of this call, clarity is the name of the game. The more clarity you have, the more specific you will be, the more magnetic your offer will be, the more compelling your messaging will be, and the more transformational what you do is going to be. And as a result, the more profitable it's going to be for you. So please watch this replay because today was very, very powerful and very pivotal on what you're going to be doing for the rest of the week. Any other question? Let me catch up with the chat here. Okay. Robert left. Okay, no problem. Welcome back, Selena.
I thought I'd pop in and see if he was still going, but I see I've got to the well done day 2 completed slide. So
very welcome.
Perfect.
Any questions, Selena, about today? Questions, comments, compliments, especially on my shiny hair?
Actually, as I was walking to my appointment, I made a reel because you got me thinking around the zone of genius thing. Because some of us, me included, are wired to learn things really fast. So we often have lots of zones of geniuses.
Yes.
And I was feeling, right, that's quite overwhelming, isn't it? And I was thinking about our conversation in the podcast around leaving room for magic and sort of acknowledging that there are different, like you say, we're always here for the person who's a few steps behind, like the thing that we wish someone had been able to say to us that we were looking for. And so when I think about what my zone of genius is and what I could speak about for an hour, there are a million things. I think somebody else said that when we were in the call earlier.
Yes.
So that just got me thinking about how that initial sort of like, well, I don't know, this could be quite overwhelming. And so, yeah, that just got me curious. I made a whole reel on it while I was walking to my appointment earlier.
Tag me. I want to watch it. I want to see it.
I did.
Okay, good.
And the other thing that I would really like to offer is I'm a Business Made Simple coach. So I'm trained in StoryBrand. And so I often coach people to articulate how they help people and their zone of genius. Clarity is 100% the way that you resonate, because then people understand what you offer. And I have lots of free resources that I'm happy to share if that's okay.
Yes.
That will help people just articulate that.
Absolutely.
Would it be all right if I share that link in the WhatsApp group?
Yes, please. And tomorrow we're going to go dive into literally crafting your offer live on the call.
Awesome. Okay, so that will be really helpful then. Okay, I'll share that link. It's like 3 formulas that I give my clients to help them really write it out and articulate it. Okay, cool. Thank you.
You're welcome. You mentioned something that's very powerful, and I just want to add something to this, and that is, yes, we all have multiple zones of genius, multiple zones of interest and gift. Yes, absolutely. Remember what I said? One of the ways to identify your zone of genius is, what is one thing that you're really known for in your circle as being the go-to person? What is one thing you love geeking about? Or imagine a more simplest way. What is the one dish that you can cook the best? Even though you may be able to cook a lot of good things amazingly, what is the one dish that you're really known for as the best dish to cook? That's a simple, comparison, but to give you an idea. Among all of your zone of genius, for example, Celine and everyone, what is the one thing that you're really known for and the one thing that you can be the most impactful. That's, and I remember I shared with you guys action step. Where's the action step, by the way? I will give you action. So the action step I will give you is take a piece of paper. So first I will go a few slides, especially about your zone of genius, and really write down which one applies the most to you, and then share them inside the WhatsApp group. Please share also your findings, your answers from the action steps I gave you yesterday. What is the questions? Why do you want to start your podcast now and not 6 months ago, 6 months down the road? Where are you in your business? What's holding you back? Where do you want to go? Write those first for yourself. Go as much in detail as you can for yourself, because that's going to give you invaluable clarity for yourself. But feel free to share your findings, 1 or 2 sentences inside the WhatsApp group, not only for us to get to know each other better, but also for you to learn about, more about yourself, and for me to see how I can really help you guys and serve you at the highest level. So that's for yesterday. For today, remember what I said, the action step about take a piece of paper, create columns, and each column represents one dark, painful chapter of your life, and you just put one keyword in each chapter, in each column. And at the bottom, you draw a line, 3 questions. What was that trying to teach me? What is a lesson for me to learn to that? And what was that trying to tell me? Fill it out, and then stare at it, see which one triggers you the most, which one riles you up the most, which one, creates the more vivid, the more visceral reaction in you. And that's going to be an amazing way for you to find out your zone of genius, because again, your crap is your gold. Your mess is your message. So this is for yourself. Do it for yourself, and feel free to share your findings in the WhatsApp group before tomorrow's call. How does that sound?
Great.
And again, this is for you guys, not for me. So please take this seriously. So here's a sneak peek into tomorrow. So tomorrow we're going to be taking what we've uncovered today, your zone of genius, and we're going to be crafting your laser-focused, high-ticket Godfather offer, which is going to be built around what is the one pain point that your podcast and your offer are going to address, basically around your zone of genius. And I'm going to be introducing an incredibly powerful principle, and I consider that a non-negotiable must-have in any business in order not just to be successful, but to be a business in the first place. And that is having a quantifiable, measurable end result. If your business doesn't have a quantifiable, measurable end result, I'm sorry to say it, but you don't have a business. That's one of the things that completely changed my business and enhanced my life. And we're going to talk about that tomorrow. So, yeah. Any last minute questions, comments, compliments, anything? All right, then I'll see you guys tomorrow, same time. And I'll be sharing the replay and the slides within an hour. And it's going to be the same link for tomorrow's call. So have a wonderful rest of your day, rest of your evening, whatever time it is for you. And I'm excited for tomorrow, guys.
Enjoy, everybody.
Thank you. Take care. Bye-bye.